Greetings, true believers, and welcome to another invincible episode of History of the Marvel Universe. Today's tale begins with a man by the name of Arthur Douglas. Art was a good man, a family man. Born in Burbank, California, he lived with his wife Yvette and his daughter Heather. By day, he was a real estate agent, and a fairly good one at that. And at night, he played in a band, and Art Douglas destroyed on the saxophone. But one night, everything changed when the family drove across the Mojave Desert. They were returning to Los Angeles after a trip to Las Vegas when a shooting star streaked across the sky. Yvette and Heather Douglas looked up, but little did they realize that the streaking light was something far more sinister than it seemed. It was in fact an alien craft commanded by the space pirate Thanos. This was relatively early in the Mad Titan's career, and so wishing to keep his scouting of Earth a secret, he attacked the car, causing it to crash. After all, human lives were expendable to him, and after confirming the deaths of Arthur and Yvette Douglas, Thanos departed. However, the alien invader neglected to notice the young girl in the back seat who had miraculously survived the crash. And this would not be the end of Arthur's story either, thanks to the intervention of a man called Mentor. Otherwise known as Alars, Mentor was a member of the superpowered offshoot of humanity known as the Eternals, who lived on a colony on Saturn's moon of Titan. And he was also Thanos' father. Mentor rescued Heather Douglas and brought her back to Titan. There she was raised and trained at the Shaolam Monastery, where she eventually grew into the psionic hero known as Moondragon. As for her parents, while Yvette was too far gone to recover, Mentor's godlike father, Kronos, was able to seize the disembodied spirit of Arthur Douglas before it passed on to the afterlife. Believing that a powerful champion would be needed to oppose the child of their blood, Mentor and Kronos created an artificial body from earthen soil and fused it with the soul of Arthur Douglas. Thus was born Drax the Destroyer, a being created solely to kill Thanos. The two first battled when Drax tracked the Mad Titan to a distant planet. There, the force of their blows caused the ground to shatter beneath their feet. But in the end, it was Thanos who stood triumphant. Imprisoned but alive, the Destroyer was held captive in an outpost that Thanos had set up on Earth. With the psionic powers bestowed to him by Mentor, Drax was able to mentally reach out and contact one of Earth's mightiest heroes, Tony Stark, the invincible Iron Man. Stark successfully rescued Drax, but Thanos was not yet prepared for a war with Earth, and so he destroyed the evidence of his presence there and escaped. He later returned seeking the power of the Cosmic Cube, but Drax stood alongside Captain Marvel and the Avengers to oppose him. That would be the first Captain Marvel, a member of the alien race known as the Kree. During these early encounters, Drax had no recollection of his previous life as Arthur Douglas, but these memories were soon unlocked by Thanos in an attempt to break the Destroyer's spirit. However, this only served to give Drax a thirst for vengeance. After Thanos was defeated by Captain Marvel and seemingly destroyed, Drax wandered the cosmos without purpose. He was subsequently manipulated by the Kree Supreme Intelligence into attacking Captain Marvel, since the star-spanning hero was considered a traitor to his own people. However, that battle ended when Drax sensed that Thanos was still alive. Pursuing his quarry anew, he first encountered Gamora, the adopted daughter of Thanos, when he crashed into her spacecraft in an attempt to destroy her. He eventually found Thanos once more, but the villain escaped after threatening the lives of a mother and child, forcing Drax to save them. And when the heroes of Earth next battled the Mad Titan, Drax was not present. It was during this encounter that Captain Marvel defeated Thanos by transforming his body into solid granite, trapping his soul inside. And so by the time Drax found Thanos, that was the state he was in. Enraged by the denial of his vengeance, Drax attacked Captain Marvel once more. However, their conflict was interrupted when the two joined forces to battle the followers of Thanos and prevent them from carrying out plans made before his death. During this adventure, Captain Marvel proved himself willing to sacrifice himself by taking an energy blast meant for Drax. And so when it was all over, the Destroyer admitted his fault and decided to pursue some other purpose to exist. During his travels, he was infected by an alien parasite, but his plight was sensed by his daughter, Moondragon, who came to his aid. After the parasite was removed by Thor, Drax and Moondragon decided to travel together and reconnect. When Captain Marvel was dying of cancer, Drax and his daughter visited him together to pay their respects. Sometime after that, the two came upon an alien world that was locked in a bloody civil war. Moondragon attempted to use her mental powers to pacify the combatants, but soon found that she could psionically enslave the entire planet. Fearing this power would corrupt his daughter, Drax reached out to the Avengers for help, but by the time they arrived on the planet, Drax was also enslaved by Moondragon. Fortunately, his first ally, Iron Man, was able to get through to him and help him free his mind. Drax led the charge to overthrow his daughter and free the planet again, but Moondragon subjected her father to a psychic attack, one that ultimately proved fatal as the Destroyer collapsed and died shortly thereafter, his spirit leaving his mortal body. After being knocked out by the Wasp, Moondragon was brought to Asgard to answer for her crimes and to learn discipline and humility. But this was not the end, and sometime later the cosmic abstract known as Mistress Death resurrected Thanos and tasked him with killing half the population of the universe. To help combat this, Kronos seized Drax's disembodied spirit once more and revived him with a new, larger body. He was even stronger than before and retained his ability to fly and fire blasts of cosmic energy from his hands. However, due to the trauma of his previous death and the damage Moondragon had caused to his mind, Drax's memories were fragmented and his intellect was reduced to that of a child. He had become completely single-minded, once more a weapon with the sole purpose of killing Thanos. Naturally, Drax fought alongside Adam Warlock and the heroes of Earth during the Infinity Gauntlet crisis in a cosmic battle at the edge of the universe. Following that conflict, when the Infinity Gems were separated from Thanos, Drax was chosen by Adam Warlock to help keep the gems safe as a member of the Infinity Watch, alongside Gamora, Pip the Troll, and Moondragon. Spending time with his daughter, pieces of his old self slowly returned as his mind began to heal. He was even able to put his hatred aside when he was begrudgingly forced to ally himself with Thanos during the Infinity War against the evil Magus. However, the Infinity Watch later disbanded after the gems disappeared and Moondragon was injured in battle. Bringing her back to Titan, Drax watched over his daughter as her body healed. During this time, Moondragon would also use her mental powers to help Drax's mind recover. She later used her astral form to confront Kronos and asked him to restore her father's memories. Kronos refused since Thanos was not considered a threat at that time, but Moondragon would not be denied and demanded his help. It was when Kronos saw that Drax and Moondragon were willing to sacrifice themselves for each other that he relented. By draining some of Moondragon's psionic power, Kronos restored Drax's memories, and likewise, by transferring some of Drax's physical strength, he healed Moondragon's body. And while his memory of his past was fully restored, his intelligence was inconsistent, and so he worked with his daughter to complete his recovery. Shortly after, Moondragon allied herself with Captain Marvel's son, Genisvel, and a misunderstanding led to a fight between Genis and Drax. During the fight, the two tumbled into an alternate dimension known as the Microverse. Landing on a world that was once saved by the Incredible Hulk, Drax was mistaken for the Green Goliath and became ensnared in a political plot involving a woman named Visalia. Visalia claimed to be the sister of the deceased Princess Jarella, and attempted to seduce Drax into helping her seize political power. However, thanks to Genisvel and his ally, Rick Jones, Visalia's schemes were exposed and the confusion around Drax's identity was cleared up. Subsequently, Drax decided to remain in the Microverse for a time to defend them against evil. He later returned when his old friend Adam Warlock called again for aid. After this, he was apparently arrested and sentenced to imprisonment at a facility known as the Killed, purportedly responsible for the death of 200,000 Skrulls. But on the way there, the transport ship crashed on Earth. Mentally addled, Drax was killed by another surviving prisoner, Pybok the Power Skrull. Kronos' power allowed him to resurrect again, but this time at the cost of some of his abilities. This new incarnation of Drax was smaller than the previous one. He was still superhumanly strong, but not to the degree of his previous body, and he lost the ability to fly and project energy. However, his mental faculties had been fully restored with this latest resurrection, giving him full access to his memories and intellect. Despite his reduced power, Drax tracked down the other escaped alien inmates on Earth, killing some of them. However, Pybok surrendered and turned himself over to the Nova Corps. Drax was taken into custody as well, but due to his new form, they were unable to positively identify him, and he escaped prosecution. During all of this, Drax also befriended a young girl named Cammy who reminded him of his daughter and accompanied him. Then, when invaders from the Negative Zone began the Annihilation War by attacking the Nova Corps homeworld, Drax and Cammy allied themselves with the Earthen Nova Richard Rider. Drax joined the fight against the Annihilation Wave primarily because he'd learned that Thanos had allied himself with its leader Annihilus and had taken Moondragon captive. This time, Drax was able to fulfill his purpose by killing Thanos. After that, he rejoined his old allies Adam Warlock and Gamora to form the Guardians of the Galaxy, alongside several others including Star-Lord, Rocket Raccoon, and Captain Marvel's daughter, Phyla-Vell. Thanos eventually returned again, and the next time he clashed with Drax, it was the Mad Titan who was victorious. However, that battle occurred in a reality known as the Cancerverse, where death is impossible, and so Drax survived what should have been a fatal encounter. Sometime later, desperate to recover a piece of herself that was trapped in the Soul Stone, Gamora used the power of the 6 Infinity Stones to fold the universe in half, creating a new warped world. In this new reality, every being was a fusion containing 2 souls. However, technically Drax already had 2 souls, that of Arthur Douglas and that of the Destroyer, and so in Warp World he was restored to human form. And so, when Adam Warlock used the Soul Stone to restore the Guardians of the Galaxy by splitting them back into their original bodies, Art Douglas and Drax the Destroyer were separated into 2 individual entities. To ensure that neither reality needed to be sacrificed, Art and Drax held open doors to each one so that Warlock could restore their universe while leaving the Warp World intact as a separate reality within the Soul Stone. When the fighting was over, Warlock offered to restore Drax the Destroyer, but Arthur refused. And so, instead, Douglas returned to the Warp World, reuniting with his wife who had been reborn into this new reality for a second chance at life. Sometimes he would have nightmares, dreams reflecting his old life, and his old death. But he was happy in this new reality, and one day his wife gave him the good news that he would soon be a father. As for the soul of the Destroyer, well, Adam Warlock seemed convinced that wherever he ended up, he too was happy. And that is the history of Drax the Destroyer. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, share the video, and subscribe for more marvelous content. Be sure to leave a comment letting me know what Marvel hero or villain you want to hear about next, and as always, the issues referenced in this video are listed in the description below if you would like to read them for yourself, as well as links to other places you can find me, including my Patreon page where for only $1 a month you can get your name in these special thanks here. So until next time, true believers, Excelsior!